Alright, Sam. So, pentatonic licks. So, first of all, we've got the scale tabbed out, so we know what that is, right? So we're just starting off on an open string, two strings on each note, and the first one of every two is always on the open. So you have open 3, open 2, open 2, open 2, open 3, open 3. Alright? And make sure you do that back down as well. So 3, open, 3, open, 2, open, 2, open, 2, open, 3, open. And when you're doing it, make sure you don't do this, okay? You know, like a little sort of gap between strings, right? If you're finding that there's a gap in between them, that just means you're doing it too quick and you need to slow it down a bit. So you want to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See the way all the notes are lasting the same amount of time. Okay, so just get nice and familiar with that scale, okay? Because you want to be able to sort of wander around it, you know, yourself, just making stuff up as you go along. That's kind of the idea of it, right? But we'll do a couple of examples now that we did yesterday. Right, so the first one we did was 3rd fret, 1st string, then a pull off. All right, so that's, you're just dragging your finger off it. And then the exact same thing on the next string. And if you end up hitting the 1st string again like this, that's fine, that doesn't matter. And then a slide from the 3rd to the 5th, and just make sure you keep the pressure on it as you're moving it up. That's the trick to a slide. Okay, and maybe a little bit of a wobble on the string there if you like. So we've got, whoops. Okay, so just a couple more times. All right, and it doesn't matter how fast you do it, but again, if you're doing this, then you're doing it too quick. So just slow it down so it's all steady and all the notes are the same length. Okay, and if that's too fast, slow it down more, and then just get it right at a really slow speed, then start bringing up the speed. So, all right, so that was one of the licks we did. Another one was similar. So we've got two pull-offs in a row, right? So we're going from 5 to 3 to open, right? So for that, make sure you have both your fingers anchored down nice and tight. And we've got pick, pull off with your 3rd finger, then pull off with your 1st, then same again, slide on the next string from 3 to 5. So we've got, and sped up. So generally you want, you know, they're usually done sort of fairly quick, you know, ultimately, but, you know, nice and slow to start out. Okay. Another one we did was just pull-offs on the lower strings. So we're looking at the 4th string, 5th string, 3rd string. So that's 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, right? So it's just, and you can sort of drag that one if you want. Then you're going to end it with an E minor chord like this, okay? And you can make a little rhythm out of it as well if you want. So it's sort of like 3. On and on and on. Okay, and then we did the other way around, which was hammer-ons, right? So remember, with a hammer-on, make sure you give your finger plenty of room to really slap down on it, right? Because if you start off here, you're not going to get enough power. So really kind of draw back and slap it down. All right, so it's just the same thing. We're going open 3rd fret on the 6th string, open 2nd fret on the A string, then open 2nd fret again on the D string, and then just the last 3 strings strong. Okay, so that's okay, over and over again. But remember, those are just examples, okay? What you really want to be able to do is just kind of meander about it, you know, just using hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides to make it sound nice and smooth. So it doesn't have to be complicated, just nice and simple. All right, keep it up.